you don't know me, my name is Teddy, and I'm an event cinematographer and founder of Capture by Culture Films. And I've created this series to help any beginner videographer get better at the skill of video. So whether you're looking to get better at the craft or possibly make this a profession, here's where I'll be your guide. Welcome to Kaizen Culture. In this video, I'm going to explain the idea of title animations and how you can use them to make your videos much more engaging. And we're going to be using CapCut. Now, similar to cameras, most editing softwares follow a linear format when video files can be stacked on top of one another to create visual composition. Now, title animations are simply layers that are animated using a combination of keyframes. And the most advanced compositions really just compile sequences with a series of effects, which are being keyframed. And today, you're going to learn a simplified process to create your own. So let's get started. So in this sequence, I cut down a 10-minute talking head video to about 5 minutes, and I marked the sections where I need to add titles. What we're going to do is we're going to create 3 title animations. One, a basic title. The second one, a title with a subtext. And then last, a lower third title with a subtext. Now there are 4 font styles you're usually going to need when you're trying to create title animations. A bold font, a regular font, an italic font, and a stylized font. So the first part is placing the text. Okay, so in the previous videos, I've showed the process of how to cut through footage using Adobe. The process for doing it in CapCut will be most likely the same. I'm gonna say for the sake of time, let's save. Save it here. Hopefully start a YouTube channel. Text animation edits. Alright, cool. Sweet. So this is the test footage that I have right here. Boom. I'll place this here. So if I play this, right, who are people who are editors. Now while you've already created a keyframe, the Easy Ease and Easy Ease Out feature allows your text and your animation to smooth in to the frame. So in this example, the text animation has 2 effects. The blur in effect is what slightly pushes in the text. If you were to remove that property, the font would appear abruptly in the sequence, which is something that you possibly don't want. All right, cool. So this is a sequence right here, right? Now, if you did your scripting process already, you probably wrote down bullet points of everything that you were gonna be talking about. So I'm gonna create a quick document so you can see what that looks like. So Google Doc. So my title would be, how to create title animations, right, in CapCut, right? Cool, right? So that's the title, how to create title animations in CapCut. And I've already, in Adobe, I've already put down my markers for all of my sequence, right? So if you look here, I'll move this out the way. It shows you all of the markers that I created. So I need a marker for, so these are all the pretty much the titles. So the first one is font and text. The next one is 3 formats. I'll just copy it. Haha. Next one is creating animations. And then this one here, keyframing. And then this one is Easy Ease Technique. Gotcha. So these are all the titles that I have to create, right? And the format usually for titles looks like so. So the first thing you want to add is an overlay, right? So you can use a paper overlay, you can use a white background, you can use a black background. I tend to use different types of overlays, right? I'm gonna use this paper one here, right, to break it up. And what I'm gonna possibly do is I'm gonna add this here, right? That's my title, and I'm going to rotate it. So you can click it here, and then on the right here is usually how you can change the properties. You can change the scale of it. You could rotate it. What we're gonna do here is, like I said, we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Oops. Let's see. Oops. Just type in 90. Boom. And then I'm just gonna scale it out so that, boom. So most titles last about 4 to 8 seconds. 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's the title. So how to create cinematic engaging videos using title animation. So that's the first title technically. So let's create that. So what you want to do next is actually pick your fonts that you're going to be using. So like I said, there's usually 4 fonts you want to have, 4 styles of fonts that you want to have when you're creating animations, right? So the first one is a bold font. So let's hit text here. We're going to add default text, whatever that is. I'm going to add it. And let's just say how to create titles. All right. So the font that it picked was a system font, but I'm going to use a font that they have available. Hold on one second. Whew. Let's see. So I'm going to use just Arial Black, right? Simple font. Like I say, whatever style is yours, you would probably use that style in the bold font, which is this one. How to create titles, right? But then the next one you want to create as a font, you can actually select it and then move it up. Is you want to create a basic one. So a basic one would probably be something like just Arial by itself. Loading, right? Title, animations. So you got that, select it, move it over. And then you want to create, you could just duplicate that, copy, and paste it. Go to the next one, font, animations. You can slide that over. And then this one you want to create it in italic. So you just put in and just change it up. And then the fourth one, like I said, is a stylistic choice. So how you make a copy in easiest way to make a copy in most softwares is you hold the Alt button and you just drag it up or drag it to the side and it should duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to move this one here, and this one is going to be the stylized text. So in CapCut, so let me just look for a style that's kind of unique. I'm just gonna something with like a script, maybe. Which one should I do? Comic Sans. Let me do. And then this one I'm going to change the color to red. And then what I'm also going to add is a shadow, which gives some separation. And make it a little bit gray. Boom. Cool. So like I said, so when you have, let me move this one over here. And so when you have different fonts, all right, so essentially you want to have 4 different styles of fonts, right? You have a bold one, which is like a traditional font. It could be Arial, it could be Montserrat, it could be Verilog. There's so many different fonts, but find whatever style you think best represents you. The first thing you want to do is you want to create the bold font. Then you want to create a regular font. With the regular font, you want to also have a style that's, you know, italic, and then you want a stylized font. Right now that you have your different font style and you have essentially the placement, the next thing is how do you animate this thing, right? So you want to animate a couple of things. One, you want to animate the way the actual overlay comes into place, right? And then they allow you to do that just by clicking animations. So you can do flash, swoosh, all these different ones. I am a fan of just kind of like traditional ones. So most likely kind of like maybe like a fade in or a blur in. Like, I'm a fan of just kind of like basic blur in or, you know, fade in transitions, right? And then for the actual overlay, right, you can have the overlay slide into position from out of frame. And the way you do that is by using keyframes. So you go right here, just like that. And the section where it says video here, you're pretty much going to animate the position. So as of right now, you put a keyframe for when it's the in position, and then you go essentially like kind of like two frames ahead and 2 frames behind, and then we're going to move the position of this video out of frame like that. So when it comes on, it slides into position. Now you can, you know, make it much faster by bringing the keyframes crew. All right, so we have it coming in, sliding in, and then we can have it from here. We add another keyframe, and then we can have it slide out at the very end. So from there, you select it, and then just slide it out, and then just move the keyframe to the very end. Slide out. Cool. All right. And now as far as this right here, right, this one you can stagger the animations the way they come in. So you have that slide in. Gotcha. So you can slide that in. Just want them to come in a little bit faster. Essentially one after the other. Gotcha. So like I said, those are just pretty much the foundational things. Now, the sauces when these come in, you can actually animate them the same way as you did the overlay. So what you can do is you can keyframe their position the same way. So this is the text here. You come here to where the position is, you keyframe here, and then let's just say if you want that also to slide in, you just go one frame behind here, and then you add a keyframe, either moving it up or down, whatever you prefer. So what's going to happen is that keyframe is going to slide down. You do the same thing for this one here. You select the keyframe for its current position, and then you animate it coming from either the side or I guess wherever you want it to come from. So you could slide it that way, and then move the keyframe over so that it slides into place. And then CapCut, what you can do is you can actually keyframe the size there, and then go a couple of frames before, and then maybe just bring up the scale of it. So that's what you got. Cool. And then what you could also do too, right, is after you created those animations, you could always change the speed of the keyframes by bringing them closer, right? And instead of having all of these come out abruptly, you can select all of them, right? You can create compound clip, which makes it one whole thing, and then you can have one animation at the end of it, which is a fade out. So this is what you have. So they come in all at once, and then you can have them all fade out. Now the cool thing, what you could also do too is, right, like I said, you have this overlay here, right? But say if you didn't want that overlay, you could just take it out, right? There should be an option to deactivate the clip, and then you can just have the font come over the video. You could do it that way, or, right, because we want options, right, you could always, let's say, activate the clip. Once you have both the clips, you can create compound clip of, you can undo that one and then create one whole compound clip with all of them, right? Gotcha. When you go in the compound clip, you can make the tweaks as well. So you can make a compound clip within it, and then again add, you know, and like I said, for the sake of this video, we're just doing basic. We're just doing basic, you know, animations, because I'm presuming that, you know, down the line you may want to invest in paying for the paid version, which gives you a bunch of different ones. But to keep it simple, I just use the blur, fade in, fade out, nothing too crazy, and then it slides out. Cool. Now, cool. So that's just, like I said, just a simple way of bringing in your clips. The last thing that we want to add is the easy ease to all of these transitions. So you have them all coming in a certain type of way, but you just want to make them come in a little bit more smoother. So you select the clip, select the keyframe, right click it and click preset curve, and you want to do just ease in. So ease in just makes it just slide in a little bit more abruptly. So you want to do that to pretty much all of the clips. Preset ease in. To that one. Ease in. Cool. There we go. That's perfect. And then compound, this one here has the motion blur. So when it comes in, perfect, boom. And then, cool. And then last but not least, we'll just save it as a preset. So if you go to your presets and templates, yours, your media, yours, then presets. So you have a bunch of different presets. So there you go. So I'm gonna save this as a preset. Now once you have your presets, you can just go right here to where it says media, it says import, it says yours, and it says presets. And it says my preset 1, 2, 3. You can change it to whatever you want it. So let's change it to basic title animation, right? Oop, rename it. Basic title. Cool. Cool. This is just pretty much a basic title right here, right? Now, remember, these are the actual titles we have to create. So we have to create one for font and text. So all you're essentially going to do is you're going to use this title and you're just going to change what you see in here. So let's just say here, this main one, you just change it to title. And oops, Control C, text. The middle. That's great. Cool. Just delete the keyframes. So that's title and text. Cool. Compound clip. That's interesting. What's happening there? go. So we got titles and text. So this one right here, preset, save this as rename. Rename. Title animation. Oops. This one right here. Name it as basic title. Alright, next one is 3 formats for title animation. So I'll use this for one here. Paste this here. On the compound clip. And it says 3, oops, what was it? 3 formats. For title animations. So I could turn that off and turn that one off. Oops. Cool. Go. So that's the next one. Next one is creating the animations. Gotcha. Cool. Different for title animations. Cool. All right, cool. And then the last thing we're going to do is a lower thirds. So let's check this out. So using this same template right here, we're going to create a lower thirds. A lower thirds is generally used when introducing a character. You can put their name there, their title usually, and maybe their experience. That way you have context to the person who's actually speaking. So for me, right, I'm gonna do, so the top one is going to be, so the compound clip allows you just to change it. So I'm just gonna put my name here, Theodore Teddy G. All right, boom. And then capcut, I'll put captured culture films. Right, and my title is cinematographer. All right. Cool, so I have all this right here. Now I need to go into the compound clip and just make some changes. So I'm going to change the font size here. Boom. And for cinematographer, I'm going to change the font size for that. And I have to move it over slightly as well. Cinematographer, and in animation, I'm not going to need that part, so I'm going to take that part out. So I can select it and then slide it over here. And for Teddy, since it's keyframed, one thing you need to know is that since something is keyframed, any movements that you make after the fact, is going to change the position. So if I was to change this position here, what's going to happen is it's going to move from here then to here, right? So if that's what you want it to do, then fine. But what I want my name to do is I want it to appear on the left hand side. So I'm going to move it over to the left here. And then the cinematography thing, I'm going to move that over next to it there. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want it to essentially start there. So I'm going to delete this keyframe and then this keyframe so that it ends on that keyframe. And then I'm slightly going to have it position or come in from above slightly. Or I think I like having it come from the side a little bit. So select it. I'm just going to push it slightly over. Control Z, just slightly over. Oh, can I just, is there a way to? All right, cool. And then I'm going to right click it and ease it in. So if I look at all of these, right? I want them to appear much sooner in the frame. So, boom. So now that I have that, right, I'm going to go back to the clip. Go back one more. And I want it to appear on the bottom left. So what that looks like is I'm going to disable this track and I'm going to just move this to the bottom left, hence the term lower thirds. Cool. Cool. So, like I said, that was just a quick way of alternating and changing basic animations. So we started off with this one right here, which was it included the 4 different styles that I mentioned. We modified it so that we created a lower thirds, which has my name, has my profession, and it has the name of the company, my company. And then these are just different texts that you made, which are variations from the original one. So 3 formats of animation, creating this one, keyframing, and then this one right here, easy ease. And like I said, if you edited the talking head using any software, so I edited it in Adobe, or if you did CapCut, CapCut also allows you to create markers. And if you double click the markers, you can call it whatever. So text animation 1. And what you can do is, once you have a set of all of your markers, right? You know what each marker stands for, and then you can create a list using a Google Doc app here. and write down all the animations or all the titles you have to create. You create them all in one shot, and then you just place them in your sequence, right? So hopefully that gave you a good understanding of animations. And like I said, a lot of websites, if you go to Environmental Elements, oops, they have a library of different graphic animations, overlays, torn paper, YouTube, all these different things. It has different packs, like if you were to open it to see what the the pack looks like. Title, lower thirds, so pretty much everything you need. Now I just showed you a really quick workflow for you to create your own title animations. Now, once you get more proficient in video editing and you're possibly taking on projects, you can actually buy templates on online sites, which helps speed up the process, and it kind of makes your editing style a little bit more creative. The point is, I want you to start small, learn the basics, and then once you get into an advanced state, you'll be able to understand how to use templates and weave them into your editing workflow. On the next video, I'm going to give you a complete walkthrough of how I actually film, script, and edit all my YouTube videos from start to finish. And if it's something that you want to get proficient at least you'll have the groundwork and the foundation to start your own YouTube channel. Until next time, peace.